Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs. This is Nord Not Work, and we're playing a little more Banished today. We are back in our idyllic little mountain town of Swoyerstownbury, and it is early spring, so we have begun to plant. Hopefully, we will plant enough to survive another year. Is that possible? Yes. Is it probable? Not from what I'm seeing. So, we're still desperately in need of a trader coming through with a decent offer. Either livestock or a higher yielding plant. But till then, let's continue on and hope that my guys don't die. Finally getting a decent little supply of wood coming in. And it looks like we're sitting around 200. Block limit's 500, so we should be okay there. Where is the outer rim of that? Right there. These guys need some more. Okay. Gatherer's Hut is producing. How did you do last year? Not a lot this season. Last year was okay. We brought in probably a little over 1,000 food. So, got a new house over here was built. Roderick Obert. That is the most unfortunate name I have ever seen for a child. Good job, guys. So let's see. I don't want to expand too much more, because I am not at a point where I can feed even the citizens that I have. Looks like we got some tools breaking, so I need to look into that. I know I told the traders to grab a bunch more. We're at 71. Can we drop that back down? Let's stick at 60 for now. I'm just not going to have enough stuff to trade for probably another year or two. So, it's probably better to keep my townsfolk supplied than worry about tradable goods at this point. What else can I put in? Got a hunting cabin here, which is producing a decent amount. And I put one more in up here. Let's see how he's been doing. So he's just getting started. Hasn't really got anything this year yet, but it's still fairly early in the season. So let's see. How is... I know I've got a couple of townsfolk that are getting ready to shuffle off this mortal coil. So that should open up a little bit more room for our students, like our younger generation. So I don't really want to build more houses. Yeah, so like this one here was definitely some older folks just a year or two ago. So we're younger generation moving in, taking over. This one, they're probably not going to last much longer. So I need to keep laborers on hand, just so that as they start dying, I don't have to scramble. And let's harvest this now, actually, because we're going to cut it all down. Can you harvest it early? Yeah, it looks like you can. So let's tell them to cut. Stop working. And I haven't actually removed one of these yet. So let's see if this... Let me harvest the trees first. We still have this orchard up here, so that will give us a little bit of fruit for our diet, but I just don't think this one is producing enough to warrant the farmer that we have working in. So if we can get rid of this, that'll put us at exactly the right number of farmers working our fields, which should help increase our crop. Doesn't seem to want to cut it down. Do I have to remove structure, maybe? Okay, well that made it so it's no longer designated an orchard. So maybe I have to do that, and then I can cut it down. Not really. Well, if anyone knows how to cut down an orchard, let me know, because that's going to be some dead space. So what all do we have going on up here? Field's coming in nicely. You guys are doing a decent job of cutting wood finally. Looks like we actually have some stockpiles starting to build up. That is pretty clogged with iron and stone, though. I'm almost tempted to build a second blacksmith just to start churning out tools for trade. I mean, this guy is making a lot. So he might be okay. Let's pick up the speed a little bit more just to get us through the seasons. Hopefully we get some more food coming in soon, because our reserves are pretty much out. Other than what we have stored in the houses, our barns are empty. And I'm wondering, these fishermen just aren't producing the way I want them to. And I think it's because of the fact that you see how half the circle is on land. This game doesn't really treat the fishing docks fairly. It really should be a circle out from the dock itself, because the only way that this will pay off the way that you need it to is to build it maybe like right here. Actually, who died? Hunter was trampled by a wild boar. Okay. That's annoying. Let's slow this down some. Let's actually look into moving the site of one of these fishing docks. So if I build it... Let's see. How can I place this? If I build it like here, will that work? It's still not very... You're still losing a big chunk of it. There's not really a way to get it on the edge here. That, you lose most of it on land. That might not be bad. Let's try that. Let's tell them to knock down... Let's see, who's the worst? They're both pretty terrible, aren't they? I think this one's producing less. That was 313. Yeah, that's 383. So this is going to be the one we want to tear down here. So let's remove that structure and get some roads built over to this guy. What's the best way? That's going to need a tunnel. But I've got a ton of stone, so yeah, let's just go for the most direct path possible. So tunnel through there. And then road over to here, and down to here. And move some laborers into builders. And I can probably even move, yeah, a couple fishermen out. Okay. So that will hopefully produce a little more fish for us. Thank you, dog. And in the meantime, let's just pick up the speed and see how this does. So just outside the hunting cabin area. I'll probably be able to put a house or two down here. I think that'll be close enough for now. So how's this go? 36% demolished. Okay. And if we see a massive spike in what this one's producing, then that will answer the question I had about, do their overlapping circles interfere with each other? You would expect them to, because they would be overfishing an area. But I don't know. Some things in this game have made a lot of sense. Some have not really made so much. Let's start building up our firewood supplies. Now that we're starting to produce some wood. Let's check our log production. I will be very glad when I can get out of the micromanagement stage. Okay, so 152 last year. We're already at 73 this year. Let's see how this one's doing. You are 111 last year, 68 this year. So yeah, they're both producing over 100. So that's decent. That should keep us well supplied with wood, at least at our current population density. Let's see. Bringing in the harvest. So our food stocks are going back up. Let's see how we did. So last season we got 803. This season we're at 600 already. So it looks like we might actually be picking up. Yeah, we're actually picking up some on our production levels. So having enough farmers to actually keep everything at the level it needs to be at seems to be helping. They still haven't done anything with this area. Or can I build directly over top of it? What would I build over top of it? Is there any kind of town service that would fit in that area? I wonder if I can put... How large does one of these need to be? It's too small. Okay. So that area is a little too small for pretty much anything I want to put in there, except for maybe housing, but I don't want to build any housing yet. So let's leave that little plot of land alone for this year, and we will look at it again in a year or two once we need the space for our citizens. We're not really producing any new children, though, which is starting to get me worried. Everybody's like just living at home. So that's not good. We're at 1,600 food. So it looks like our food production might finally be catching back up to our population. Got it set high enough that we shouldn't stop producing at any point. So yeah, I think we're once again back in a holding pattern just until we get sorted out a bit more. We got going on 3 fishermen out of a possible 8. We got way too many builders now, so let's drop out some builders. Leave one or two just for any kind of things I decide to throw up. I don't want to have to go back and sort out again. There's just a laborer to fill in anyone who dies. We've got fishermen now. You know what? I think I am going to put down one more house. How are we doing on stone? Next to nothing. Okay, so that tunnel used up pretty much all my stone. Let's put a house down there for now. And that way these guys won't have to travel halfway across the map just to get food. And it's autumn. Did I just close my... I did. Let's open that back up. 2 builders, 2 laborers. We can move the laborers over. Let's get them to finish picking up this stone. And then we might look into building something in this little area. Some more, only thing I can really put in is cropland, but I need to start designating areas for once I finally get around to getting some animals. Let's up this again. Let's go to 400. We've got 60 tools, but we've got 80 stored away. So yeah, let's bump that up to 100 as well. So this will be enough for if we get an animal trader coming through. We can get pretty much 1 sheep or 1 cow, or we could get, I believe, 4 chickens. So let's hope for chickens. They'll breed up faster, and they don't take up nearly as much pasture area. We haven't seen a trader yet this year, have we? Nothing on the horizon. Now, what I wonder is if you don't trade on a regular basis, if you keep sending them away, will they eventually stop coming? Or will they check in every year? Areas outside of it too, but I don't want to split them too many ways. What's our speed? Let's up that a little bit. And see how we're doing over here now. So this has had a season. Okay, so in the 2 months maybe that they've been fishing so far, we're already at half of what it got for an entire season over here. This, so far, yeah, we're almost at what we got the entire last season, and we still have another 3 or 4 months ahead of us. So I think their circles, if they overlap, will interfere with each other, which is interesting. Got a young couple in there, so hopefully they will get with the baby making. We've got all these laborers sitting around now. Nothing to do with them. I know what I can do with them. Let's clear cut a little more forest, because that never hurt anyone. So, let's see. How do we do food-wise? That definitely picked up some. That was its first year. We dropped a little on that one. Dropped a little on that one. So it looks like everything balances out, which isn't what I wanted to see. let's see how we're doing here. So we're at 500 or 400 firewood again. We're at 100 tools. Let's once again bump this up. Let's go to 600. I think the best way to do this is kind of like I am, just to increase a little bit at a time. Wait until you get back to your designated stockpiles. Get back to what you've told them to store there, and then slowly move up again. You don't want to just throw everything into here, because of the fact that your townspeople, once it's in here, the only way to get it back out is to reduce the number in this little interface. So you could easily freeze to death or starve to death, or everybody could break their tools, and you could have literally thousands of inventories sitting here in the trading post. So, not something you really want to have to deal with. 5 laborers. I still don't understand. This is stuck at 7. Let's bump that up one more. Because it's acting like this still requires someone. So, I don't know. I need to get rid of this stuff, but can't figure out how. Let's bump our coat limit up too. Because there's not really anything else you use leather for other than the clothing. So as long as we're getting it, we may as well be using it. So food is decent. Bringing in some wood, plenty of firewood. I think we might finally be hitting that magical moment where everything's starting to kind of equalize itself. Even our, looks like our older villagers have started dying off. Yeah, it's pretty much all younger ones in the houses now. Except for right around this little township area itself. So, that's good to see. Last thing I wanted was every house just being packed with 60-year-olds, because that's a recipe for disaster. We're late winter. We never really got a snow this year, have we? 'Cause it is late winter already. Wonder how that affects firewood usage. If the temperature stays up, you can see we're in the upper 40s at this point, which, I mean, that's more mid-springish. So, I wonder if that reduces how fast they go through their firewood reserves. Okay, so we've clear-cut this area. Clear-cut this area. Picked up all the stone. And we're back into planting time again. So that was year 12. We are finally starting to equalize. So I think that's successful. Yeah, so fish this season, we got almost 500 from it now, as opposed to the 300 we were getting before. So that's definitely going to help. Now, if I could get... Man, if I could get one like right here, that would be just perfect placement. Because you would have all of this water, you'd have all of this water. Yeah, that's... I think that's what I want to shoot for eventually. Try and get one on that little, oh, I don't even know what they're called. The little land bridge. To see how many I can produce from that. For now, this was Nord Knotwork, signing off from the mountain town of Sawyerstownbury. And I will see you guys next time.